Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Leadership Insight, where today it is about embracing disruption, preparing your team for change. And what a great time! Listen, depending on when you are watching this, so if you're catching this live, you still have some time to pause. Listen, if you haven't voted, put me down and go and get on out to the polls because it's election day. Now, granted, depending on again when you're watching me, maybe it's already past time. But this is a great time because the world is embracing for some form of change. And sometimes that means change on your jobs. As a leaders, we have to help our teams through change. But I'm not talking specifically about election change, you all. I am just speaking about changes that may be happening either currently in the workforce where you are or it's coming. Because if you're not going through a change process right now, trust and believe you will be soon. And no better time to really start preparing your teams before change hits. Do not forget to like and subscribe from whatever platform you are watching us from. Again, welcome. Come on in. We are going to really do a dive into embracing disruption and how to get your team ready for change today, which again is extremely important in today's fast paced world. Any company has to deal with change, but it happens even faster depending on what industry you are in. And as a leaders, it's our job again to help our teams to deal with these problems in a strong and confident way. Now, today we're going to talk about why getting your teams ready for change is important, how to deal with it well, even if not everybody is naturally flexible. We'll talk about how to speak clearly, build trust, and offer support so that your team can welcome change instead of being afraid of it. Our 3 points are building trust and psychological safety, effective communication, clarity and consistency. And our third point is going to be providing support and resources. Now, before we get into all of that, let's do a super quick roll call. No matter whether you're catching us live, whether you're catching us from the replay, let us know that you are here. If this is resonating with you, and as always, if you have a question or if there is something specific, you're like, you know what? Spoke with you, Coach Miranda. You haven't talked about this, and I would love to hear about it. If it's in the realm of leadership and in what I do, I will definitely work to get that out for you. Now, typically I go into stories. We're not going to go into stories. However, I would like to share leaders need to understand how complicated change is before you yourself can help your teams get through it. When leaders understand the change process on a human level, you can better understand the problems your teams are having and you're going to be able to help support them and inspire them. When leaders show that they are aware and that they are strong during the times of change, they're going to be able to set a strong example. When you can stay calm and you can help calm people down, you're building trust, realizing also that changing habits and ways of thinking takes time. You've all if you've been through the change process yourself, you know it doesn't happen overnight. And thus, you don't have the expectations for others. And also, do not have the expectation that your team just understands flawlessly how to get through change themselves. Leaders need to show their team members and themselves kindness and understanding as they deal with the discomfort and learning curves that come with change. Leaders can create an environment where growth and change are possible and can last by promoting this culture that values patience and understanding. And I wanted to say that because I am not deep diving into how a person changes and that particular mechanism. This is really about helping your team through change. But I urge you and implore you, if you yourself aren't excellent with change and you don't understand the steps that it takes to get through change, then please let that be one of your things that you get into. Hey, we're still in 2024. We still have a month or two to go. So please let that be something that you work on and work into 2025. Now, again, we're not going to talk about change in that particular process. However, we are going to give you several tips for preparing your teams. Our first thing that we're going to talk about is building trust and psychological safety. The first thing you need to do is to build trust and a sense of safety within your team. When things are changing, trust is what keeps a team together. Earlier, I said, please also have the understanding that some of this stuff just doesn't happen overnight. And so, if you happen to be a team that's not currently experiencing change, this is a great time to start building these blocks. So, when change comes, you're going to be ready. And when it comes to building trust and psychological safety, if your team currently does not feel psychologically safe, I need you to have great patience because the things that I'm about to discuss are the things that we're getting ready to talk about. If your team doesn't currently feel psychologically safe, I need you to just continue to work on them. When a team does not feel trust, it's going to take you that much longer and it's going to take you to be very resilient. Do not give up on your team. You just need to dig deeper. And you also need to give people kindness and grace and understanding. You will get there. It just will take you a minute or two longer than perhaps a team that already feels trust within and psychologically safety. People on your team are more likely to accept change, even if it makes them feel uncomfortable, if they feel safe where they are. You need to ask yourself that question, or you need to ask your team that question. How are they feeling? Because when it comes to change, people need to feel safe where they are. Don't assume that your team feels safe. Don't assume that you are walking around here. I have the greatest team because some of you are assuming that, and that is not the case. If you were to ask them and they felt or felt a little safe, they may tell you, no, I can't tell you exactly what's on my mind because I'm going to get in trouble for it. So please don't assume. Ask the questions. Focus on making sure that everyone on your team feels like they can talk about their problems, ask questions, and even make mistakes without worrying about being judged. When the last person made a mistake, how did you respond? How did you respond? Were you inviting or did you make them feel like they were I don't even want to put a word to it. So fill in the blank yourself. When they made a mistake, how did you respond? And do you need to rectify your response in the future? Those are questions that we don't want to do that self examination. But I need you, if you want to be that better leader, you need to do that examination because you need to make sure that all the team members on your team feel safe, not the majority, I mean all. So if you have a team of 25 team members, it's not good enough that only 20 feel like they are safe. You also need to go after those other five. This doesn't mean avoiding tough talks because as leaders, we have to have those tough talks. Or it doesn't mean that you just act like change is simple. It means being open and honest while also being helpful. Teams that believe their leaders are more likely to be open to change. This is because they know that their leader will have their back, their trust in the unknown will grow, and they'll be more willing to take risks needed to change and do well. Our second point, effective communication, clarity, and consistency. Next, if you want to help your team through change, good communication is key. It's not just the word you send through, it's also how clear and consistent that message is over time. Make sure you tell people why the change is happening. Don't keep all of that information to yourself. People are more likely to accept change if they know why it's happening and what it might mean for them. Explain what's going to change, why is it going to change, and how it will affect the team and the company as a whole. Just as important as being consistent in how you talk to people. You cannot just talk to people any kind of way, you all. I know. You feel comfortable with them. I know. They feel like family sometimes. Sometimes they are just like family. However, always still bring that professionalism. Even if it's informal ish, it still should be informal ish with professionalism. Consistency in how you speak to people matters. Team members can stay aware and less worried when they also get regular updates and check ins. People can emotionally get ready and adapt better when they know what to expect, even when things aren't clear. Make sure you maintain that communication. Our third point, providing support and resources. Finally, it's essential to provide the necessary support and resources to help your team through this change. This could mean offering additional training, one on one coaching, or simply being available to answer your questions or their questions and provide guidance. Being there, the consistent communication, that consistent, even if informalish, professional communication. And again, I stress that because it's so important that we still maintain that. Remember, not everyone has adaptability as their top strength. All of our people have different strengths. You have different strengths, even if adaptability isn't one of your top tier strengths or your team's top tier strengths. It doesn't mean that you can't communicate in a way. You can't create an environment in a way because you can create that environment where they feel safe to come outside of their comfort zone and to speak up. They'll feel safe with you knowing you have their best interest at heart in mind. And because of that, they're more willing to adapt to whatever change that is before them. So, no, even if adaptability isn't a part of their top strengths, that's okay. Your role as a leader is to identify those who might struggle more with change and provide them with the extra support they need. You know who they are, and you don't have to single them out. You don't have to make them feel that there is something wrong with them, but you can definitely still work with them. And again, if you currently aren't going through change, what a great way to start laying the foundation right now to get them prepared. You know your people. I know my people. You know your people. Get them prepared. This could include pairing them with more adaptable team members, giving them additional time to adjust, or offering tools and resources that can help them to build their adaptability muscles. Listen, if a person isn't just quick to adapt, you have to give them space and you have to give them help so that they can build their adaptability muscle. Okay. If you have worked out, you don't, or most people just don't start working out and they're just like, oh, yes, that soreness, bring it on. Most people aren't like soreness, bring it on. And so it's the same type of thing, even when it comes to adaptability. Everyone's muscles are different. Give them time to exercise that adaptability muscle. By providing the right support, you're not just helping individuals, you're strengthening the entire team ability to navigate change successfully. Now, let's go ahead and wrap this up. Embracing disruption and preparing your team for change is a critical aspect of leadership, especially in today's world. We've discussed the importance of building trust and psychological safety. You all don't forget, ask the questions. Do not assume that your team just thinks you're the bomb.com and you're just the best supervisor and they feel safe. If you don't ask, you won't know. Take a step and a leap of faith. Do not go into this blindly. Ask your team, how safe do you feel? Do you feel like you can share? Do you feel like you can mess up without us jumping down your throat? Do they feel that way? I don't know. Did you ask? Let's find out. communicating with clarity and consistency. And our third point was providing the necessary support and resources. Remember, change is inevitable, but the right approach, you can lead your team through disruption, avoid the leadership challenge that we have from time to time, and emerge stronger on the other side. Your role as a leader is to guide your team with confidence, ensuring that they not only survive, but they thrive in the face of change. I always like to end with the quote: the measure of intelligence is the ability to change. I love that quote. Please, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you for joining this session, and I encourage you to take these insights back to your teams, put them into practice as you navigate the ever changing landscape of your careers. Join me next week for more incredible insights. You deserve nothing but the best. It's my goal to ensure that you move to your next level. Let's take your career to new heights together.